Ma,
Buona, buona la prima. Hello, everybody. Hey, Stefano, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. Uh, I'm Alexis. This is Stefano. I work at Answer AI, where we teach the SolveIt course, and Stefano's a student in the course, like lots of others. And we've known each other for many years now, since
Oh,
like
yeah.
way back in one of the first Fast AI courses. And one of the cool things about the SolveIt course is that people are making all these cool computational notebooks with SolveIt, little dialogs. And we were always chatting about cool things people have done, and we thought we should just record these chats, and that would give us an excuse to chat more, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then you can like, I don't know, show me something you did or something you saw that was cool, and I can show you something I saw or I did that I learned something from or whatever. And that would just be an interesting way to like look at all the stuff people are doing and like learn something along the way. Is that about right?
Absolutely. We don't want to like our comments to be buried in our personal history, just like a share it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the title, like 15 minutes share it. We
And the
should
other
do it in
goal is
15
the other
minutes.
goal is to
So
keep it to 15 minutes because otherwise
yeah.
we'll never get around to doing it. And what's the reason it's called Buona alla prima? Be-
Because it's
Okay.
an Italian like a thing that you're gonna make it the first time and you can't repeat it. So
Okay, that's it. So
okay,
it's like one
we're
take
doing.
and then we're done. So this is our one take video.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go first? Show me something and then I'll show you something. And we
Yeah,
still
yeah,
have
yeah,
like 10
absolutely.
minutes to
So
go.
I was feeling really the pressure about like even choosing what kind of dialogue to share because there's so much thing to do. So I started, okay, let's do the data science way. So in a dumb way, I started copy and pasting like all the history on the Sherry channel because I say like do the hack way. Was pretty confused. And I actually find out just counting the number of shares in the just like share solve it, share it, shared dialogue. Yeah, there's some people like this is a top 21, and actually, yeah, I look at the number of the things. I look at like a daily. It's maybe you're gonna look at this even in the future, like the data frame, the group by day, resampling stuff and things. Actually, yeah, there's some trend of the people in different days, and even I try to give a meaning and say, oh, what is the main topic coming around, how they're distributed, which is like finding a way, like a scientific way to like cherry pick something. And while I'm doing this, I shared this dialogue too, and it's some guy pops out and say, okay, you know that there is this incredible directory made by Aditya Cabra. I hope I spell it well. That is actually made in fast HTML. It's daily updated automatically. It's even expose you the source as like JSON data source, and it's even searchable. It's not everything. I wish I know it. I would like spare like
So this is an automated index of all the things
yeah.
people have shared.
And Aditya was so kind that he's even like share like with the community he's complete source code for and the method and the source code, the whole is like a grabbing the data out and like even this link here is awesome. Like this is one of the link that you will find if you search for the DTI in his own like directory. So long story short, now for the future we'll refactor my thing to use this data source, and
Okay.
it's gonna be in any case in a hard way because David did a lot of interesting stuff, but I cherry pick this one here. So this one is his dialogue about the transformer.js. Like this is
Who's it
actually
by? Whose work is this?
sorry.
This is who is it by? This is by David?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. David.
Okay.
David TA. He just published this, and yeah, we can find it. Oh, let's show how to do it. It's a transformer, just like that, and Aggie face. Okay, transformer.js. This is one with David. Okay, this is going on, and this is the link. And this is the same link of the transformer.js. And you know that in SolveIt, you can take this link and go in your dashboard and import it. And you can import this link so you not only look at like if it was a, I don't know, a blog post, you can really interact with it and move it and use it. And so what I did, I imported and I start understanding how it works. And so The first thing, the thing that I noticed is that David really likes to do the cell magic. Uh, Cell magic is like something where you can repurpose the meaning of a cell and you can actually let the system do whatever you want. So you can add like cell magic to run JavaScript instead of Python, a
Yeah, I
cell
learned about
magic to
that
do.
just like 10 minutes ago. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I had no idea that the percent
Okay,
JS magic was built in through IPython. So what does
let
he
me
do
let
with
me.
it? So what does he do with it here? I mean, I think, oh,
Okay,
go
we
on.
will
Yeah.
see how this cell magic is made after seeing how it works. Let's pretend you know it and just like go like a top down instead of the bottom up approach. And one thing, one important thing, really, when I was running this notebook, there's some of my notes. My first note is this one here. So when you, especially in this AI moment where when people just finding AI giving you code for everything, please always take an eye open. Try to understand what you're doing or try to get help in understanding what you're doing. And for this, Solvis is awesome because, of course, before executing this code, I asked the system, is this code, the yes code, safe to run? And the system tells me, okay, yes, it's using JavaScript coming from like a pretty good, like known CDN, stuff like that. So there's a number of different ways JavaScript code can be problematic. So he says, okay, you can be safe to run it. And I know that people say, it's okay, when I'm using a Jupyter notebook, things are happening in Python and I'm using a machine that is someone else's machine, nothing can happen. Yes, in Python, nothing can happen. But the JavaScript is running on your computer, on your browser. So you should always keep your eyes open on
Okay.
what's going on.
Got it. Good safety note. What does this thing do?
Okay, so aside from the safety note, that's always like be have an idea before running the code you find on the web. Uh, Look at this. He declared like he decorate a cell with this sort of new decorator he created. Say percent HF. It's I think it stands for Hugging Face Transformer. And he puts here a bunch of JavaScript code,
Hmm.
assuming that you have the transformer.js library loaded into the memory. So what he's doing here is just like he starts up, he loads up, requests to be loaded the sentiment analysis pipeline. Is
Hmm.
waiting for that. It's a job. This is JavaScript syntax. It's no
So
more
that,
Python.
yeah, no, I know it's JavaScript, but so pipeline, classifier, those are
He
both
loads a pipeline to
wait,
make
those
a
are both
classification.
functions that are defined by transformer.js. So those are both functions that are part of a JavaScript library that Hugging Face ships.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And it's actually what's so nice. Look at it. Getting started is actually this link here. So you just grab stuff so you can understand what is going on. And it actually is a this example is like a pretty simple. So you loading the pipeline for sentiment analysis
Hmm.
and you just creating a classifier object. This classifier object is just the execute function is executed with this sentence, and you get the
Okay.
result and you log the result. We will
Okay.
understand how is that possible. That result of this log is happening here. We will see later, but this is the kind of thing happening, and it was
So
so simple.
too fast. So
Sure.
so we're running a JavaScript library from Hugging Face. We're in particular we're setting up a pipeline that does sentiment analysis. We're running a classification on I don't like transformers,
Yes.
and we're using JS Magic to get the output into the cell that
Yeah.
would normally have Python output. Um, okay, and he links to a transformer JS doc that probably describes how to use that library from
Yeah.
Node
Yeah. Yeah.
or in a more conventional context. Okay.
Yes. This is exactly this. I was so impressed. It works like a charm, and I create this second one. I say, okay, I don't believe that you're doing right. So I go to the sentiments analysis again. I redo the pipeline from scratch. I say, okay, this is really awesome. And actually, the first one was negative, and the second one is positive. So I think this is something here. And again, this is not happening on Answer AI compute. It's happening on my
Right.
browser compute. So say, okay, let's try. Of course, Claude. I think it's Claude 4.5. Yeah, the SolveIt thing. uh, it knows transformer.js. So say, okay, let's try to see how it works. So, okay, taking the previous example as an inspiration. So we're using the previous cell as a few shot example. Say, I wanted you to make another cell like this. with a new language we just invented, the HF thing. Can you make me an example of generating a sentence embedding? Because I don't know, I was thinking, oh, really? You can do my browser with this kind of thing? I can like, I don't know, make a RAG, create an embedding from my own CPU or GPU, I don't know. And actually the code is so simple. So this is a different pipeline.
Nice.
And yeah, I asked to make the Ella world extraction and it shows me the result.
So that could be cool if I wanted to, well, play with the JS library in an environment I was familiar with, or if I wanted to have an environment where I could um, interoperate between the JS library and Python because they're all in the notebook. That would probably be a situation for it. I think we're almost out of your 10
Yeah, they
minutes
were
or
getting
15
closer. We're
minutes.
looking at the same thing. So I need to rush out. I told you that we'll explain you how it works, and it's actually pretty simple. Don't get distracted by all that long string. This is actually some sort of like the code of a simple dump example in TensorFlow.js that does actually nothing because these cell decorator, the cell magic, is taking two things, a line and a cell. The line is not used, is the line where it is executed. The cell instead is the whole content, text content of the cell. So
Right.
what are we
So
doing?
this is defining an IPython magic, meaning this is
Yes,
the function that makes it possible to do percent %HF for Hugging Space.
exactly,
And
exactly. This
this
HF,
and what this function does, the cell function the cell parameter takes the contents, the input contents of the cell, and then
yes.
I guess the output
Look at
contents
this.
of the cell are display HTML, and then that format string
Yes,
that has
exactly.
all that
It's that
JS.
one thing here that is grab. I miss again the cell. This variable here cell is there happening somewhere here. When I have the pen open, you can do it. Is happening. So there we go. The cell is here. Okay. That string, you have a beginner loading library doing a bunch of stuff and then slamming in the content of the cell because it's assumed to be JavaScript that can run inside that and just catching the error and give you the result. It's
Okay.
as easy as this. The
So one
only
thing.
real magic that David did here,
Mhm.
like, is this. When you execute a cell, you should tell me this that SolveIt is designed such as each cell has a specific message ID, okay? And the message ID, if you look in the HTML, is written down. So what he's doing here is that at the beginning of the execution of the cell, I grab the message ID and I use the message ID with the query selector to understand where is the output cell. And so what is happening here, long story short, is that HF, you grab all the content of this cell, you
I
put
see.
it into a JavaScript, you execute the JavaScript, but at the beginning of the JavaScript, you grab the cell ID of the output cell, that is this, and you're just injecting text over there.
That makes sense.
It's
I think we're almost out of time, but I was supposed to show something too. And what you showed there reminded me of one thing I thought of in a notebook that I worked on. So I'll share my screen right now, and then I guess we're
yeah,
done for
that's
today. So let me hit share. Sharing is not turned on. Okay, a send request to you
oh
to let
sorry.
me share. All right. So let me share my. Uh... All right, you seeing this?
Yep.
All right, so this is a dialogue I shared where I was exploring dynamic wallpapers. And dynamic wallpapers are a feature on macOS where your wallpaper changes depending on the time of day. Actually, can be configured to basically change depending on the position of the sun in the sky where your computer is located. And I wasn't very familiar with how it worked, so I just built this dialogue and kind of stumbled through figuring out how dynamic wallpapers work. So it might be interesting to people if they're interested in watching me stumble around in a dialogue to figure things out. But one issue I encountered is some of the wallpaper images I was looking at were really big. So I figured out how to put like like a web carousel in here to like browse through wallpaper images. But if you look at this number here, you can see the token count is huge. So what would happen at first is as soon as I would like display images, if I then tried to interact with the AI below the images, the dialogue would fall over because the context was full of the image. And we have this. command include in prompt. So if you flag that so it's not included in the prompt, well then the dialog keeps working because the AI sees the text interactions in the code, but it doesn't see the image. So you can see the image, but it doesn't go to the AI. So that was handy. So as I worked through this and started putting in the images, I kept needing to remember to go back and hit like include in prompt, which was,
Including it, by the way.
which was a suggestion to me that I shouldn't do that because if I'm doing it over and over, I should automate it. So I also had my encounter with message ID, where as I was thinking about this, um, I think there's even here in the dialogue the exploration of me, yeah, auto skipping. Um, and here you can see like me like figuring, hey, I find myself clicking H in order to hide large cells. With the dialog helper library, is it possible programmatically to flip the include in prompt? And then it uses tools to like explore the dialog helper library. And I'm incredibly lazy, so I was just saying and. Um, yeah, and sure enough, there's like the find message ID function, and then there's update message. And if you look at update message, it has a
Mm.
skipped parameter right there. Um, and here's me like getting a hunch that that's it. Okay, skipped seems relevant. And a little testing shows, yeah, you just set skipped on something, and that's the equivalent of setting the flag. So with that, I was able to update my pride and joy, my show wallpaper function, so that not only does it display the images, but it automatically flips the next cell so the images won't be sent to the AI. So that way, if you're working in a dialogue where you're frequently generating a lot of images, but you don't want those images to go to the AI, you can just, create your own function like this for showing it and also hiding it from the AI. And that was my one adventure. So I think we're
This is so interesting. Like, it's the good thing about Solvit, we come back, I hope, in the future about this, is that the ability to hack your own tool in a so deep way you usually can't do it. It's very hard to do it.
yeah, it's I think Solvit has only really come into focus for me, like kind of recently. And when I think about what it seems to me now, when I think of it as in focus, it's designed to be an environment for empowering learning by being extremely hackable. It's
Yeah.
not the uh, do it for you as easily as possible environment. It's the if you have time, it'll teach you things you didn't know so you can do it yourself environment.
Yeah, it's like hack it, not solve it. It's like
Yeah, it's
the
sort of a
ability
hack
to,
it,
you have an
hack
idea,
it,
you have to quickly
hack it.
slam
Yeah,
it down and
learn it, hack it, share it. All right, but we should
yeah,
try to
yeah,
stick to
love it,
15
love
minutes because if we let these things go past 15 minutes, we'll never find time to do them. So
it.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah, it's
All
it's
right,
a
we'll do
goal of
another one
15
next
minutes.
time. All
Okay.
right, ciao.
Yeah, Alexis, thank you. See you.
Okay, bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Stop recording, huh?